Hi everyone. Guess what time it is? It's that time. I have had my apple wine going since March 18th. And today's, I guess, November 18th, 20th, something like that. I think it was 20th. So it's been going for 8 months. And I have not, when I first started, I've looked at it, but I have not actually looked at it since June. Yeah, it's been June since I've looked at my wine. I always just keep an eye on my little gas thing here. I can't think of what it's called right now. My mind is in a fog. But we're going to look at this and see what it looks like for the first time. I had it wrapped up. Ooh-wee, that looks beautiful. Look at that wine. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it's just so clear. And all the sediment, lower you down a little bit. All the sediment is down at the bottom here. So now it's time to get my bottles and bottle this up. To sterilize or sanitize all my jars and my corks, this is what I use. It is Star San. I got this off Amazon. 1 ounce of this is for 5 gallons of water. I have 2.5 gallons that I put in my sink, and I've squeezed this up to a 1/2 ounce. And you pour this into your water. Give it a good stir. Get it all incorporated in there. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but you do not rinse your equipment after you do this. It's not recommended that you rinse it. There. The water's changed color. It's a real cloudy look, as you can see now. You can see how it's turned a cloud. Now I can soak my bottles and put a couple of my corks in here. I do my hose in this. Anything that I siphon it out of anything that touches the wine has to be sanitized, because you don't want to run a whole batch you've been working on. Like me, I've been working on this 8 months. It'd be awful to ruin it just because I didn't sanitize something. I've got my hose here. I'm going to put that in there. Just in case I need 3 bottles, I'm washing 3 of my bottles. And then you put it in here. I've got my 3 corks with my 3 bottles. I'm also letting them get that sanitized solution on it too. The Star San. If I'm saying that right. I think it's called Star San. But you're supposed to let your corks warm up in a little bit of hot water. Don't leave them in there too long, because then they will dissolve. Especially if it's a real cork, it will just fall apart. I thought I ordered a different type of cork, but this is what they sent me in the mail. So I just used what I got. You do not rinse your bottles. If you see that it has a lot of bubbles in there like that, just go in there and try to get the bubbles out gently, to where it's not leaving all those bubbles behind. That's why I put the sand solution, the Star San solution, after I washed after I filled my sink. I put it in and I stirred it up, because if I put it in there before I filled my sink, it will foam up really bad. And it's hard to get that bubbles off. Like that, see? No bubbles in there. So that's on the outside, but not on the inside. So that's a good thing. Now, I do not have a little thing to pump the wine out. I do it old school. And alcohol, I figure the alcohol in this will probably clean whatever else out that I do. So, if you are a professional and you're going, oh my gosh, look what she's doing. Seriously, I'm an amateur. And I'm the only one, well, my family's the only one's going to drink it. It smells strong too. Strong but good. I hope it's good. That's awful to have all this wine and it be nasty. So what I do is I put my hose in there about an inch, maybe a couple inches from the sediment. You can go halfway down and then slowly go as you want. But you have to make sure that your jar is above your wine bottles. If it is not, you're going to have a hard time filling it. This is how I do it. I got my 3 bottles of wine, and I should have tasted this. I really didn't taste it when I was ciphering it. So, get me a little something to taste this with. I know this is a silly way of tasting it, but that's how I'm going to do it. I like it because it's more of a dry taste. If I wanted more of a sweet taste, I would have added more sugar in it when I made it. This is a mechanism, I don't know what they call it, to cork your bottles with. And I had washed it because I don't use it that often. And even though I got it off of Amazon, and it's already rusting. And this thing has never been, it's been in my house. So, I don't know why it's rusting. But I washed it and I sanitized it. Because I figure if the cork's going through here, I sanitize that. But what you do is you put your cork in here, in this part, like this. And it drops down into it, like that. You place it over the bottle. It's just barely on there, see? I don't have the strength to put this on here and cork it like this. I've said to you in my last video how I have to cork it, so I'm going to go do that now. I've got my wine bottled and ready for this weekend. I will take 1 bottle of it to Thanksgiving dinner, crack it open, see what people think of it, see what the family thinks. I don't drink a lot, maybe rarely. I'll have maybe a couple glasses of wine a year. I know I like making it and stuff, but my family loves to drink, you know, a little bit on a celebration day or something. I don't drink much because I'm a lightweight. Seriously. Wine does me in. But when I do drink it, I like it almost dry. Not real dry. And I don't know the wording for it. But this is what it looks like. This one, I've been letting it air out a little bit. You know, I know this isn't a proper wine glass, but it's all I got. So I've been swirling it around, letting it air out just a little bit before I take another taste of it to see if the alcohol and the stuff is, you know, a little bit more tame. I like this. I can taste that apple, the apple cider in this. It's really good for me. I don't know if my daughter would like it. It might be a little bit too dry for her. It might be too dry for Mama too. But through my research, I seen if my wine was too dry for anyone, I can always add a little bit of simple syrup to it after I open the bottle. I don't know if that's true. I know that there are people out there that do this all the time. Maybe you can let me know on that, on whether or not you can add simple syrup before you bottle it or after. If you don't like a dry wine, because this one's more on a dry note, if you don't like it, when you go to make your wine, when you go to prepare it and everything for it to ferment, or whatever they call it in your jug. I am awful with words, people. I know what to do, but I just can't say the right words. You would add more sugar in it than what I did. I will link past videos of where I made my wine in the description, or actually I'll put them here at the end of the video, and that way you can click on it and you can see how I made this 8 months ago. It's been that long. So, until next time, God bless you all. Cheers, happy holidays, and I'll see you again.